Hey traders, Optimus Futures here, and in this video, we'll be showing off our new and improved trading journal. In this video specifically, we'll be focusing on the journal's integration with Optimus Flow. We'll show you how to import your trades directly from Optimus Flow, show you how to import them manually or by file. And keep this in mind, if you're not an Optimus Flow user, we do provide our journal as an added benefit for just being a client of ours. This journal can technically be used with any trading platform out there. Like I mentioned, we'll be showing the integration and how you can specifically use it for Optimus Flow. But again, just keep in mind, even if you are not an Optimus Flow user, as a customer of Optimus, you do get this journal as an added benefit, and we'll be showing you how to integrate it with those other platforms as well. Now, what you're looking at here is the main dashboard of our journal. Now, you'll see I don't have any information in my own journal yet. I've done this on purpose. I have cleared everything out, and I wanted to show you what this looks like when you start from scratch. So first, I think we should go back to Optimus Flow, generate a few trades, and show you how to import it. Then we'll come back to this journal and show you what it looks like after a few more trades have populated and what it looks like once you've started adding data to it. So the first thing, if you haven't already, is of course sign up for Optimus Flow. When you sign up for Optimus Flow, the first thing you'll be doing is creating yourself a username and password. If you're not sure where that is, or you need to change the password or get access back to that account that you created, you can find that login directly within Optimus Flow in the top right corner of your screen. You should see this little icon. It looks like a green person. If you click on this, this is where you can go ahead and manage your account. You essentially can go to manage, and your username is always going to be your email. And if you forgot your password, there is a forgot password button right there. So again, for whatever reason you don't remember the initial login you created for yourself, go ahead and reset your password there and use your username and password that you set for yourself on the journal. If you didn't see it when I minimized it there, our journal URL is journal.optimusflow.app. You can just navigate to this site here on the login screen. Again, that is the same username and password that you use for Optimus Flow. Now, once you have made some trades directly on Optimus Flow, the easiest way to import them into our trading journal is through your trades tab here at the bottom. If you are using the default layout, you'll see the trades tab directly underneath your chart. If you don't have the default layout anymore and forgot where this is, you can go to the Optimus Flow logo in the top left. This will open our main menu. Navigate down to the yellow buttons. This is the portfolio section. And right here, you'll see trades. I personally recommend favoriting this icon. You can click the star to favorite it, and it'll add it to your top toolbar permanently. I suggest having this up at all times when you're trading, so you can see all previous fills, you can see your P&L. But again, just showing you if you happen to close this window, that is where you access it. Now let's start off with just these two fills for now. I have my entry and exit order. You can see I placed my first initial fill at 43.28 and 3/4, and I sold at 43.29 for a profit of $1.25 on the MES contract. Now, hypothetically, if I were done trading for the day and I wanted to export these to the journal, we have a convenient button right here, and you can click Export to Journal. When you click on this, you'll get a confirmation asking you if you really want to export your trades to the journal. You're going to click on this and say yes. And then once you say yes, you should see a little confirmation. It was a bit quick there, but if you saw in the background of my trades window, it says the export to Optimus Flow's journal is complete. Now, once you get that complete message, go back to your trading journal. If you already have it open in a browser, I recommend refreshing the page first, as you may not see the trades right away if you've already had it open in an unused tab. So going back to our journal here, I've just refreshed it. Let me drag it to this monitor, and you can see immediately those same trades that are in my trade tab. I'll go ahead and open that back up just so you can compare, are now in my trading journal. You can see the fill prices, the MES, you can see the buy and sell side. It's the same account I'm using. You can see here I'm using our built-in simulator. The account name is account US dollars. So if you were to go back to our journal, you'll see it's the same exact account. There's an account field here now. As you can see, it says account US dollars. I see the exact fill prices and I see my P&L on the trades. I see my quantity. You can see it's represented. The sells are with a yellow sell button. You can see that here. You can see the buy buttons here. If there's any profit or loss, it will tell you at a quick glance right under the status field, and it shows your date and time. Now, the reason or the importance behind this account field here, as I mentioned, I'm using a simulated account. Let's say I logged into my live account. These trades would be filtered based on which account they are placed for. So when you go to Optimus Flow and you look at your trades tab, it is important to take note of the account field here. If you have been trading, whether you have multiple accounts, you're trading in demo and live, they will be organized by your account field here. So whatever you import will get organized based on the account you have selected here. And we can show that off in a bit, but just keep in mind, if you have traded on live and then you switch over to simulator, you need to click this drop down and switch your accounts accordingly. It will not happen automatically, so just remember which account you have your fills in, so that way you can stay organized on the journal as well. So that was a quick glance at how to just export through the automatic export button we have. I think we should do some more trades, but this time let's do them manually. Let's fill out our trade journal a little bit more with more statistics. We'll add some profits, we'll add some losses. All of this is hypothetical, of course. It's just for demo purposes to show off the journal. But I want to populate it a bit more so you can start to see what happens when we have both profits and losses and what it looks like when there are multiple trades in here. Just to recap that again, if you are trading on Optimus Flow and want to use the automatic export option, it is super simple. Just open your trades tab. It will be open here or open at the bottom of your window and just click export to journal. One thing I'd mention, if you didn't notice, there is a filter here on the left-hand side of your screen where you can filter based on previous trading days. So if you have traded in the past, as you can see I have, it will open up older trades that you have done on your account, and you can export these right into the journal as well. So something good to keep in mind. We could actually test that out right here. We'll just go ahead and click export, and that'll actually give us some more data here to work with. I'm going to go back to my journal. I refresh the page. And now you can see all these trades have just been exported in. And this is actually a really good example of what I meant before. Now we have two accounts. We have our own personal account, and then we have my simulated account that I can swap back and forth on. And you can see there's a major difference just in the recent trades tab alone. You can only see I have two compared to quite a bit here. But there is also our profit and loss history changes as well. Let's go back to our account US dollars tab now, and let's show you what happens when we import these trades manually. Now, this might be for any of you users using another platform out there. Again, and as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you do use another trading platform, but just want to use our trading journal, you can go ahead and do that too. It just may take a little bit more work. You either have to import via CSV Excel or send it over manually, as I'm doing here. In order to import manually, it's very simple. In the top right hand corner of the journal, you want to, right underneath the account field, click this blue button that says Add Trades. Go to Add Manually, and you'll be brought with this window here. Now, the first field here, which is of utmost importance, and I've stressed this before, make sure you set it under the right account. I'm going to be focusing on my account US dollar tab here, or my account US dollar account. This is the built-in simulator we have on Optimus Flow. But you may want to manually either type in or organize yours accordingly. You can see if you delete this field and click this drop down, it'll auto populate any other accounts you've already added in the past. So this should be easy. But again, if you're using another platform and haven't imported before, there's likely nothing going to show here. So just make sure it's organized, it's case sensitive. with whatever platform you're using, or that it matches the same exact account that you're using in Optimus Flow. From here, it is pretty straightforward on what needs to be entered. As you can see, it asks for the exact parameters that's needed to be entered. This is where your symbol is. You can type in the base symbol. As you can see, it also recognizes symbols you've used in the past. In this case, I have the MES. I was using the front month, but if I wanted to specify the contract, I could do that as well. For example, I could type in MES23, and I can import trades based on that. Keep in mind, we do have a section of the journal that filters based on the symbol that you've been trading with. So if you do want your symbols to be organized together, you want to have the symbol structure the same. And what I mean by that is if you import some trades under MES and then have some trades filtered as MES Z23 with the specific contract month, they may get filtered and organized by different symbols just because they're technically different names. I understand the symbols may be the same, but the way our journal works, the symbol format needs to be the same exact structure. So just keep that in mind when you are importing, that it needs to be organized that way. Moving forward with price, I'm not placing these trades right now. They're just going to be hypothetical entries, so we can really enter in whatever here. We'll keep it realistic. I'm going to do 4,500 with the quantity of 1. Right now, I'm going to assume this is my entry order. I'm going to put it on the sell side. So right now, because this is my entry, there's not going to be any profit with it. This is just an initial entry. So keep that in mind. If it's an entry order, the profit should be 0. Our journal will recognize the next fill that you place is typically used as exit order, and it will show the profit and loss for that specific exit. From here, these are some advanced parameters that you can customize in the manual import field. This is your first time seeing this because as you've noticed, you did not get those options within Optimus Flow. It just imports the trades themselves. So these are parameters that I'm going to show you in a bit that you can customize if you'd like. But when you import them from the journal option, the manual option, excuse me, you get to customize them right off the bat. This is just a little score that you can create for yourself. It goes 1 through 10. So if you think a trade was really good and you want to write a significant note for yourself to remember that, you can increase the score. And you can also put some icons or emojis next to them. You can see here they're fire, heart, growth, decline, and a little flag. You can use these however you like. For my example, I'll put a fire emoji next to mine, just thinking, it's a 10 out of 10 trade. This was a really good trade. I can make a tag for myself. So, if I wanted to organize something based on a specific strategy I use often, maybe if I use multiple strategies or method, I can create different tags for myself. One tag is one method, one tag is another. This can really be used however you see fit. There's no rhyme or reason to this. I think it's a unique way of organizing the journal to remember and go back on things that you've done in the past to easily, recognize what that was. But again, you can essentially type in whatever you want here. Same thing with the comments. You don't have to type anything. It's not a required field, as you can see in the bottom right. We notify those or, make those of significance with the little red asterisks. If you don't see that, it's not required, so nothing is required here, but you can just type in anything. As you can see, this was a really good trade. Again, you may want to coordinate that or organize that based on your tag or whatever you type in there, but use this to however you see fit. We think this is a good idea to write notes and comments for yourself. So that way in the future, when you're going back and reviewing things you've done, it makes it really easy to distinguish what was what. Once I am done completing this out, I want to go ahead and click add trade. You can see the page refreshes and my new entry order was entered. Now I need to put my exit order. So let's go back in here, add manually, and we're going to be doing the same thing. Account US dollars. One thing I didn't mention last time, it is important to put your date and time. Like I said, my trades weren't actual trades. I'm just putting them in here for hypothetical purposes and to show you what the trade appears like once it's actually populated in the journal. But of course, you're going to want to come in here and enter your date and time. So we have a calendar. You can just click drop down, choose your date, year, click on the calendar date, and then set your time here. You can also just delete these entries and manually enter them in as well, whatever is easier for you. On my first entry, before I did it as a buy, so we're going to be exiting this and doing it as a sell. We're doing the MES again. Let's this time do 45.05, hypothetical 5-point profit. We need our contracts quantity to match. And in this case, we need to calculate our P&L. Now, based on whatever platform you're using, whether that's Optimus Flow or something else out there, most platforms will calculate the P&L for you. You could also use, if you have a live account with us, your daily statements, which do show your P&L so that you can take it from there. Or in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate it. So to be exact, we made a 5-point profit and the tick value on the MES is $5. So we can just do 5 by 5. That's a $25 profit. And I type in 0.25, or excuse me, I type in 25. If there was a loss, you can put a negative sign. Excuse me, I accidentally just closed that trade out. If there was a loss on that trade, I could put a negative sign or a minus sign, excuse me, and that would signify that as a loss. There was nothing else I really needed to enter there. I accidentally just clicked enter too early and entered my trade in. But as you can see, I put it in. It recognizes this trade as a win, a $25 profit on this trade. Now I can continue to fill this out. I will fill this out with some additional trades. We'll do that really quickly here. And we can see what this appears like with some losses once we enter those in. Again, we're going to go in this time with the sell at 43.05. Profit is 0 because this is an entry trade. And there's our first loss on the account, a minus $25 loss. So you can see how this acts as we start to fill it out. Let's go ahead and refresh the page. And once this is refreshed, now you can see our profit and loss history has filled out. Let's go back to account US dollars here. You can see our new results here. And that's the main homepage of the journal. Now, we've only really focused on this point up until this point on how to actually import the trades. Now let's focus on what these statistics mean once you actually have some trades in here. So this is your profit and loss history at a close glance. You can see in an account with more history on there, it actually gives you a histograph and it shows you what happened on what day in a quick glance. But we can get more specific on that as well. You'll see on the left-hand side here, I have my profits at a quick glance. I have my losses at a quick glance. And keep in mind, this is for whatever time frame you have set up right here. You can see it shows you this is from trades I made between September 1st and September 29th. And this is a custom field. It's the last 30 days. I could extend this down to the last 7 days and you can see how this changes. Today, yesterday, or you could even do whatever you want just by typing it in here on the calendar. Same format as we showed you on the other calendar for the manual imports. You could either type these fields in manually or you can click on the calendar format and sort through as needed. Let's set this back to 30 days. On the left-hand side here, we have a profit ratio. Again, these were all hypothetical trades I made in an account earlier, but you can see here I had 3 total profitable trades, 0 losses. My top profit was $50, my average was 50 cents, and I also had a $5 gain in there. I didn't have any losses on these demos, but again, these were hypothetical. I only generated them just for the purpose of showing them off on the journal. But if there were any losses, you would have them recognized here. You can see my top winners. You can see the trades in the price in US dollars, and they sort by format here as well. So you can see top winners, top losers. Going back to the top, these will actually explain to you what they are if you hover your mouse over the infographic bubble. You can click them and expand. You can see this one is your net profit and loss. And I won't read off every single one here just for the sake of time, but you can see here in this example, it shows you that the net profit and loss, this feature calculates and displays a total net profit or loss for all trades in the specified date range, which again, we specify up at the top here. It aggregates a profit and loss for each individual trade to provide an overall net profit or loss figure for the trading activities recorded in the journal. These ones are pretty straightforward. It shows you the average profit of this time frame. Remember, it is of this time frame. It shows you the average losing trade. It shows you the average trade, whether it's a profit or a loss. It just shows you your average. This is your average drawdown. This displays the average drawdown per trade based on the trading activities recorded in the journal. This drawdown refers to the highest percentage drop from the highest price to the lowest price of a trade. The feature determines the drawdown for each trade, sums the total drawdowns, and divides the number of trades to calculate the average drawdown. This is recovery factor. This feature calculates and displays the recovery factor for trades based on the trading activities recorded in the journal. The recovery factor measures how well trades from drawdowns by comparing the final profit loss to the maximum drawdown for each trade. This one, profit factor, it displays the profit factor for trades based on the activities in the journal. This factor measures the ratio of total winning trades to the total losing trades, and it's calculated by dividing the total profit of all winning trades by the total losses of losing trades. And you're not seeing some of these fields here because, as I mentioned, I don't have any losses on this trading journal account, my account that I have specified here. If there were losses, you would see these profit factor, recovery factor, average drawdown, max drawdown. You would see these start to populate. We can even go in there and populate one ourselves. But again, I just wanted to do this for the sake of time. Just import something really quick so you could see what this looks like as it gets filtered. That is why you're not seeing these fields populate here. And then finally, we have profit and loss ratio. This determines the number of profitable and unprofitable trades in a journal over a specified period and divides profitable trades by unprofitable trades to calculate the ratio. And that's just our homepage. We have a lot more to pack through. Just a couple things I'd like to mention. If you didn't notice, there are filters, additional ones that you can configure for based on what you have entered here. This is where the tags comes into play. So if you did have a tag, maybe you had a swing trading strategy and you name that swing. If I did have that and I put this tag, I would only filter for my swing trading strategy. Or if I had a day trading scalping strategy, maybe I'd want to type in scalping here. Same thing when I add the trades manually. You type in scalp. And that way you know that was a scalp and you can filter later down the line based on only scalping trades. So these are good filters to do that with just on your dashboard if you're looking for a quick glance on your account. You can do by buy and sell trades. You can do by only buys, only sells. You can show only losses or only profits or no statuses, which no status will generally be just your entry orders. You can filter by symbols and then again by tags. And if you want to, you can click reset. It resets all of that at a quick glance. Just give it a second. It'll go ahead and refresh the page. And here we're back. Now let's start getting into the other tabs that we have on the journal. Let's go into trades. This is essentially what you've seen on the dashboard tab here, but it's the total of everything. Going back to our dashboard really quick, this typically will only show the last 20 trades on your account. So if you have been using our journal for quite some time, this is only going to show likely your last day, 2, or probably at most last week if you've been actively trading. This is where you're gonna want to go in and see everything. So you can see it's initially displayed by 25. If you increase this, you can increase the number of trades that display. I only have so many trades in here. You can see it only has found 14 trades for me. So I'm only going to have 1 pages of trades. But if you have been using this for quite some time, you will probably have multiple pages and you can scroll through them here. You can search for specific trades. And one thing I do want to show you, which is nice about this, is if you did use the automatic export button within Optimus Flow, and you like those different tags or the emojis that you can filter for by yourself, you can now edit your trades here. So let's say, for example, I had a trade that I wanted to edit. It doesn't matter why I wanted to edit it, but I do. I can come in here, click the edit button, and edit manually any parameter I want to. So for whatever reason, the journal didn't capture the profit and loss, or you accidentally typed in something incorrectly, or you just want to go back and edit the trade for whatever purpose it is, you can come back here and type in any of these parameters over again. Like I was saying, you can add a tag. Maybe I want to type this as a swing trade. I put that in, and now anytime I go and filter later on the line, this will show under swing. I can go ahead and add my emoji. I can put my score. Maybe this one was only a 3, and I type in this was a bad swing trade. Now, if I go ahead and save it, I see it under my tag and I see my note. And that way you can come back in here and for any trades you've made on another platform or did manually, automatically on Optimus Flow, you can now add these comments and these markers in here. This also goes for deleting any trades. If for whatever reason you wanted to delete something, you accidentally made an error or you just didn't want that trade to show, you can go ahead, come down here, click the X under the delete column, and it will delete it. Same statistics at the top. You can also filter up here as well by date. Okay, now moving on to the next tab, we'll be going over to the profit and loss tab. What this does is basically gives you a graphical overview of all your trades for a certain period of time. As you can see right now, I'm basically filtering between September 1st to September 29th. And here it's showing trades that I've made on those days. And what I can do is click this slider in the bottom to condense it down, and it's going to filter day by day based on my trading activity. So I can click either end of the slider, and when I scrunch it down, it's cutting off days outside of my parameters. So you can see there was a trade on August 31st. Once I slide it down, I'm basically sliding over on the calendar, and I've just now condensed my field in my graph to September 12th to September 20th. I can come down on the other side, and if I drag this far enough, it'll cut off the 20th, and it'll only display for the 13th. So this is basically just showing my 2 days of trades worth between September 12th and September 13th because I clicked down this slider. If I really wanted to, I can expand it further just to go down to 1 day. But then you don't really get a graphical format unless you have had multiple trades on this day. I only had the one, so you can see that's why it's only represented by this one dot, and then you just get a little line graph showing you the P&L on that trade. But again, you can customize and expand this. And of course, if there were losses on the account, you would see the divots from any losses, the up and down. The losses are, of course, represented with the yellowish red color. Moving on to the next tab, this is by symbol. And what this does is organizes all your trades, the entire trades on your account for those specific symbols. So as you can see, I have 3 symbols that I've traded with on this specific account, the ES, the MYM, and the YM. And they'll only be displaying here, just giving you statistics on each of these specific symbols. It gives you the win rate, the P&L return, a profit and loss by return. It shows the number of quantity, the total number of trades, and the total profit and loss on each of these. So if you really need to narrow in on what product you do best on or what contract you're doing best or worst on and want to see the numbers rather than for your total account, you want to see it just based on your product or the symbol you're trading, this is the tab for you. Next up, we have by time. Now this is going to show what days and what time of those days you do best or worse on. And you can see it gives you bar graphs for the time period that you have filtered up at the top. And these are the times of the days. So this is 1 a.m. This is 12 o'clock at midnight. This is 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., so on and so forth. You can see my trading activity starts each day around 10 a.m. I've had $12.50 in profits those days, during that hour. During the 11 o'clock hour, I have $10 of profits. During the 14 o'clock hour, so basically 2 p.m. Eastern time, I've had $50 of profit during that hour. And you can see this is down by the day of the week. This is the time of those days. So you can see on Wednesday overall, I've had $12.50 profit on Wednesdays, $10 of profits on Thursdays, and $50 profit on Saturdays. Again, these were just entered in on random dates and times. None of these trades are real. They're all hypothetical. In your own journal, you're going to see a lot more statistics here. We just wanted to start with the basics just so you get a general overview of the journal. Now, this feature might be good for anybody who really needs to focus on days and times of the week and see what they're doing during those hours. For example, you may want to look at a specific day and time that the CPI report comes out. So you may want to check every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time to see how you're doing during a specific report. This can allow you to see your daily average, what you're doing during those days. So you may be able to use this to potentially find patterns in your trading, see what days you do best at, what day you do worst, see the timing of your trades, gather those patterns, and maybe find things you haven't even realized about yourself to determine what days you actually do well at. And possibly based on this, change some things, finding deeper patterns in your trading that you may not have realized without using a tool like this. Moving on to the next tab, time and trade, or time of trade. This is somewhat similar, but what you'll see here instead is this is actually showing the minutes of your trades. And what I mean by that is it is actually keeping track of the time of your trades, how long you've been in them, and giving you them statistics based on the actual chronological time frame of your trades. As you can see here, this left column is a total P&L history of those trades. So this is showing up to 1 minute. So if you don't hold trades longer than 1 minute, they will all be filtered in here. Anything in the 1 or 2 minute range will be filtered here, so on and so forth. So you may have tried both swing trading and scalping in the past. This could help you potentially find what you're better at by seeing your P&L during those time frames. So again, this left column will show you the total P&L. This middle column will show you only profits, and this will only show you total losses based on the time of your trades. Down here, you do get some statistics with little clocks that give you a graphical view of this as well. It'll tell you the max time of your trades, the minimum time, the average time, and then the same thing, but just on the profits and losses side for these other columns. The final tab we have here is the overall calendar. This sort of piggybacks on those other last few tabs we've done as well, but this actually shows you the specific calendar date. Whereas the other ones, such as the buy time or buy symbol, only show you the overall activity. This is going in on a day-to-day basis. So you can see here on Friday, September 1st, I had a $50 profit. There was only one trade on that day. On this day, on the 13th, I had a $12.50 profit with one trade. And you can come in here and use these filters up at the top as well. You can do buy gains, buy losses, if you only want to do buy or sell, or if you only want to do a specific symbol. All of these filters are available with any of these features I've showed you here. So again, this feature here is just showing you the overall calendar view of your trades. I've only traded a couple times this month, but if you go back, you can view older months. You can see there's one trade for August 31st there. Keep on going back on old calendar days. Again, we have a limited sample size of trades here just for this video, but we really wanted to show you everything in depth and really focus on what these statistics mean and how you can filter them for yourself rather than focus on the actual trades that are in here. So we hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions about our journal, any of the statistics here, how to import your trades, please let us know. Again, this video was solely focused on using this with Optimus Flow. In the near future, we will be releasing some other videos, such as how to do this on TradingView, and show you how to use our journal with TradingView and use it with some other third-party platforms out there when they don't have this automatic export button that Optimus Flow does, as I've shown you here. It does work best and easiest with Optimus Flow, but we have no problem if you use it with any other platform again or out there. Just remember you're going to either have to import manually or import by CSV file. This is very simple. If you have a CSV file, just choose a file location, choose if you are using one of these platforms, choose the format. Otherwise, just make sure the columns of your Excel import match the same columns of our trades tab. And what I mean by that is make sure your first column is the date and time, the next column is the symbol, then price, quantity, result, buy, sell, status. Make sure it is in this same order. Otherwise, you may get a rejection when it's importing. Again, just make sure your columns match this order. But that wraps it up for this video. Keep a look at our channel for those other future tutorials we'll have on the journal, showing you other platforms like TradingView. But for now, we hope you find this helpful for Optimus Flow. If you have any questions, let us know. We have our community forum. You can post them in the comment sections below. Other than that, have a great day, and we hope you enjoy.